Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So just to be clear, this isn't my predictions video. I thought that would be an idea that a lot of other people have done. So instead I just thought I'd talk about what I want to win and what I feel deserves it, and not necessarily the Academy's opinion. So I will be talking about some like the lower down categories that not many people will talk about. However, there are 5 categories that are not relevant to me and I will not know anything about, so I won't really be able to give any insightful comments about them. So these categories are the best foreign language film, best documentary, both feature and short subject, best live action short film, best animated short film. However, every other category I will go through my opinions. So let's start with the first one. So, Best Picture. Now, there are some great nominees this year. I think there are quite a few ones that are really top for me. I think The Shape of Water is absolutely incredible, and something like Dunkirk is just really good, suspenseful war film. I think Get Out is a great horror film, and I think that's a really good. However, the clear standout for me is Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I wasn't expecting this to be anything good, and actually it was a really great film. So I think overall that's just got to win Best Picture for me. Next, Best Director. Now, I think there are some fine directors here. I think Greta Gerwig is a nice pick for Lady Bird. I think it'd be nice to get a female director at the Oscar. But overall, I just think Christopher Nolan. Dunkirk might not have been his best film, but he's just a guy that I just think at this stage in his career just deserves that Oscar. And even if he might not have been the best director at that pick, unpopular opinion, I think he deserves an Oscar for all the work that he's done for the industry. Next, Best Actor. I think Gary Oldman would put in a bit of effort into The Darkest Hour, which is nice to see. I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis was particularly inspired in Phantom Thread. I think the obvious choice for me is Daniel Kaluuya. I just think he was really good, charming, and it was just a proper breakout performance, and if he's been recognised with a nomination, I don't see why he can't win it. So now, Best Actress. This one's actually really hard for me. I think Saoirse Ronan, I don't know how you really pronounce that, but the performance she gave was really good. However, I think Margot Robbie just slightly swings it. She just gives a lot of passion and charisma to her performance, which I'm really happy about, and I just think overall she probably deserves that Oscar more than anyone else in that list. Now, Best Supporting Actor. I think it's a bit unfair that Christopher Plummer has got a nomination. I think the only reason that he got that nomination was because he replaced Kevin Spacey late in the game. I don't think his performance was very mind-boggling. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't Oscar-worthy. I think for me, it definitely comes down to the two Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri performances, so it's quite hard for me, but I personally, even though most people probably go Sam Rockwell, personally, for me, Woody Harrelson probably gave the slightly better performance, so I'd probably have to go with him. Now, for Best Supporting Actress, this one's a bit more obvious. Clearly, it's Alison Janney. She was so good. She definitely just gave the best performance in that film, even above Margot Robbie, which is a bit of a surprise, but you know, she was just the breakout star of that, and her performance in it was great. Now, the Best Original Screenplay Award. This is actually quite a hard one for me. I actually think that I'm really glad The Big Sick has got a nomination, because I think their screenplay was really nice. Get Out screenplay was pretty good. I don't think Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri screenplay was particularly inspired. I think other elements made that slightly better film. Overall, I might actually have to go with The Big Sick. It was just really funny, and it was just a really nice time. So, a Best Adapted Screenplay. People are going to say I'm very biased to this, but I've got to say Logan, because Logan, that was its only nomination, and we need superhero films to get these big Oscars. and the screenplay was a beautiful send-off to the character. It's definitely Oscar worthy, and for these films to get Oscar recognition, I believe, is really, really important. So overall, I've got to say Logan deserves it. Not that the other picks are particularly inspired in the adapted screenplay department. So you can clearly see by the best animated feature film category that they were pretty uninspired this year. I mean, Ferdinand, definitely not. I haven't seen The Breadwinner or Loving Vincent, but I don't think that would really change my mind. And I think The Boss Baby is a fun kids film with a nice sweet message. But overall, with the options they've given me, it's got to be Coco. I mean, I didn't think Coco was a brilliant top 5 Pixar film like most people, but still, Coco is a fun time, and personally, out of the ones I've seen, the best option on that list. Now for me, the original score category is one of the easiest I've had so far. Dunkirk was so intense. That music by Hans Zimmer was just so really just gripping you into that moment, and I think it's just the guaranteed winner. It just has to be the winner. So best original song, I mean, Remember Me from Coco is quite sweet, but it doesn't really drive force the story, and it's a slight echo of the message, but overall I don't really think it can deserve the Oscar. Personally, for me, this is Me from The Greatest Showman. It's upbeat and it's really spreads a good message, and overall it's just an amazing song to listen to. So for me, that's the winner. Now for the next two categories, I will be extremely biased, but for both best sound editing and best sound mixing, I'm going to say that Baby Driver deserves to win. I just think that the way this incorporates music, especially with things like mixing, where tones and volumes are really considered, Baby Driver does this so well, definitely above things like Star Wars The Last Jedi and The Shape of Water. I just think that overall Baby Driver just really deserves those awards because it does something so good in the sound department, and overall I really want Baby Driver to get recognised because it's an absolutely fabulously made film and one of Edgar Wright's best, which I'm really happy about. Now, production design is another hard one. Part of me saying Dunkirk deserves it, but I think the main part of me is saying Beauty and the Beast, that was one of its best parts to it. So overall, I've got to say that Beauty and the Beast deserves that award just because all of the sets and the production design was just so incredible, and it was really surreal to watch during that film. It was probably one of the best parts of it, so I've got to give that award to that. Now the best cinematography, it's Blade Runner 2049. You could almost print out a picture of any part of Blade Runner 2049. The cinematographer did such a good job, and I cannot rob Blade Runner 2049 of that award. I just can't. Now, best makeup and hairstyling, yeah, it's Darkest Hour. I mean, the other two, there's nothing really special about what they did in that department, so Darkest Hour, pretty much. Best costume design, yeah, I'm again leaning towards Beauty and the Beast. I just think that the costumes are beautiful and they really immerse you in the world and the setting, and I just think that's really important. So yeah, I've got to give it again to Baby Driver, even though Phantom Thread was pretty good in that department, but you know, personally, Beauty and the Beast did it better. So now, last two. So best film editing, you know what I'm gonna say, it's Baby Driver. I think that Edgar Wright's film editing is so incredible. I mean, if you've watched any of Edgar Wright's films, you know that editing is one of his strong points, and all the other films are just done alright, but generically edited. Whereas Baby Driver is cool, unique, and you just can't beat it. Finally, for the best visual effects, part of me saying War for the Planet of the Apes, because that is done really well with all the motion capture effects and all that. But personally, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was so heavily CGI that when it does something so incredible with it and really immerses you into the world, you've got to give it to Guardians Volume 2. Plus, I really want James Gunn to get something because he deserves it. He made another cracker. So that was my thoughts on who should win the Oscars this year. Please like, please subscribe. I'm happy to have a chat with anyone in the comments, and thanks for watching.